Good evening, everybody, and welcome to this special edition of the BURKE Brigade, another thrilling, chilling, and ever so fulfilling. Brought to you by the Liberty Daily.
Your conservative alternative to the Drudge Report.
Go to thelibertydaily.com. Thelibertydaily.com for all of your let me see if I can get it all. I probably can't. Pro-American, pro-Constitution, pro-Christianity, anti-communism, anti-progressive leftists. I guess I already said communism, right? Communists. And anti-democrat. But wait, I already said communist. Okay. So we are going to... I'm Matthew Burke. I'm here with...
Jennifer Burke.
The great, the wonderful, the beautiful, the intelligent, the articulate, the lovely in every way, Jennifer Burke. Okay, we're trying to be happy today. It was a little bit hard for me to get my game show voice on. We had the Texas church massacre over the weekend, the biggest mass murder, largest mass murder in Texas history. And what the media is either not reporting or burying, or certainly not focusing on, is that the reason why he went into a church was because he was a God-hating atheist.
Yes, who spewed his atheism and hatred of God and Christians online and to friends.
Yes, so much so that in the Daily Mail, of course, you're not going to get this kind of reporting, unfortunately, it seems like, from the U.S. media that's, either in the tank one way or another, it seems, in many cases anyway. But the Daily Mail described this guy as an outcast, creepy, and weird. Some of his friends said he talked about people who believed in God and called them stupid. So this is why he may have went into a church and targeted Christians.
Right.
And, it probably doesn't help that Hollywood has an anti-Christian agenda. The Democratic Party has an anti-Christian agenda.
The media has an anti-Christian
agenda. The media, exactly right, has an anti-God, anti-morality, anti-Christian agenda. And for years, since the 60s or 70s, we've been told from the left that there is no such thing as right or wrong. There's just situational ethics, situational morality. Don't preach your morality to me, Buster, because your morality might not be their morality. Meanwhile, they have taken over the culture and have preached their immorality on the culture. Here's some headlines from the Huffington Post that may have inspired this God-hating atheist.
Just like media inspired the attack by the Bernie bro of Republicans, which left Steve Scalise fighting for his life.
Or another Bernie bro, who we're going to get into, who attacked Rand Paul while he was mowing his lawn in his home, resulting in injuries that are pretty significant. Here's the Huffington Post. This was on Conservative Tribune today. They actually did some pretty good digging. Headline is, Church Shooter Fell for Liberal Media's Anti-Conservative Scare Tactics. Not really anti-conservative as much as they're just anti-Christ. And they actually use that word in one of their titles. Huffington Post, August 2017. Headline, Is the White Church the Antichrist? Is the white church the Antichrist?
Do they still have that up, or did they quickly pull it down?
I don't know. Let me click on it here. Yes, they actually do. So we might have to tweet to them and ask them if they think that maybe this inspired that mass murder.
Yes. Does this mean that they have blood on their hands?
I think they are bathing in it. Texas, here's another one, June of 2017. This might make somebody stereotype the whole state of Texas. Texas gives the green light to racial profiling. Here's another one from June. White people, which side are you on? You know, that church was predominantly white.
Yes, it was predominantly white. And I'm sick of these people. I'm sick of these bigoted, racist people who try to hide, their racism, thinking and assuming that they're the freaking savior for all the black world and that black people all believe the same thing. I speak for myself, thank you very much. And don't try to hoist your hateful bigotry in the name of blacks.
Right.
We don't need your help.
Oh, and let me just double back here. So under that headline, is the white church the Antichrist at the Huffington Dummies Post? The article summary. White churchgoers are evil racists, and the white congregation is the closest thing to the Antichrist that currently exists.
What?
Meanwhile, they are the Antichrist. They hate Christ.
Oh my God, that is horrible.
Yeah. The article summary for the one, Texas gives the green light to racial profiling. Texans support Jim Crow laws, hate people of color, and are racist.
You mean the Jim Crow laws that were instituted by Democrats in the South?
Yeah, those.
Those Jim Crow laws?
Yeah. White people, which side are you on? Article summary. White people are significantly racist and must be stopped somehow. Trump is a neo-Nazi. We must be anti-racist, pick sides, and fight against the white supremacists who voted for Trump. That's the summary of that one. And then there's this one. Witness claims big Christian gun owner stopped Texas church shooter. Oh, wait, no, that's a related one. Huffington Post, March 2017. Anti-atheist terrorism, a new threat. In other words, people are out to... In other words, there are people out there gunning for atheists.
What are they even talking about?
They don't know. They hate God.
Anti-atheist terrorism, a new threat.
They're soulless twits. They're communists. They're cultural Marxists. They're out to divide the country, unfortunately. They got their marching orders from Saul Alinsky and Barack Obama, as if there's a difference. So that's number one. The animal was an atheist, and he attacked Christians because he hates God. And he was taught that by the leftist media, who are the ones with blood on their hands. But the media, the Democrats, but I digress. Hollywood celebrities, they were blaming the NRA immediately.
Of course. No NRA member has Ray, settle down. Sorry, our little corgi. No NRA member has ever been the perpetrator of a mass shooting.
But virtually everyone was committed by a progressive leftist Democrat.
Right. But
including assassination of presidents like John F. Kennedy. Lee Harvey Oswald came back from the Soviet Union, a good solid Democrat communist, and killed one of our presidents.
Right, John F. Kennedy, who would be kicked out of today's Democrat Party. I mean, and those Democrats who would like to say that's not true, just look at what happened, honey. What was the Democrat's name who was in the early stages of the primary? Jim Webb.
Oh, yeah, Jim Webb.
Jim Webb, very conservative sounding, Jim Webb on a lot of issues. And
Pro-Second Amendment, pro-military.
After that debate, very first debate that he was in it with Hillary and Bernie and Bolshevik Bernie and I forget who else, the crazy-eyed dude.
Which crazy-eyed dude?
I remember online, Democrats, what's that Jim Webb doing in the party?
Yeah, they drove him out.
Become a Republican already. Because he wasn't a far left
lunatic,
commie-loving loon.
So this is from the Washington Free Beacon. This is today. Came out this morning because liberals immediately pounced on this, and what they did was they stepped on the rake. They literally shot, and we're going to explain in detail why they stepped on the rake.
Boy.
Liberals blame the NRA for Texas shooting, disparage, quote, thoughts and prayers. So there's another thing.
Right.
They're disparaging prayer because, again, they are anti-Christ.
Right, and there was, yesterday was filled on Twitter especially, of attacks against Christians.
So 26 people had just been murdered, 12 of them children. 20 are injured. And immediately you have, I didn't even know who this guy was, Michael Ian Black. Apparently he's a comedian or something. I'll just say it. This was 2:20 on the 5th. So 2:20 in the afternoon yesterday. So, I mean, this is immediate stuff.
And if we were seeing this in our time zone, then this would have been 1:50 Texas time. So
1:20.
Yeah, 1:20, just a few hours after.
I'll just keep saying it. The NRA is a terrorist organization. You should see my wife's eye roll. She has the best eye rolls. Seth Moulton, Moulton. Now, he's a communist congressman. Let's see, where's he from? Oh, yeah, Massachusetts. So he's in there with Elizabeth Warren. You know, they got their own little commune going. Thanks, here's his quote on Twitter. Thanks, NRA, for helping us focus on the real issues here. Literally minutes after more Americans are massacred. It was some tweet the NRA had. Here's Shannon Watts. Now she's
Shannon Twats?
Yeah, Shannon.
I can say that because I'm a woman. And black.
I'll say it because I'll just self-identify right now as a woman. Shannon Twats. She's the one that always gets into it with Dana Lash and gets smoked.
She's the every-town USA anti-gun zealot who's surrounded by armed guards.
Yes, and who is funded by anti-Second Amendment rights billionaire Michael Bloomberg. He was the one who regulated the Slurpees in
those dangerous Slurpees
in New York. When
what
he was
what he really did is just force poor people to pay double for their drink. But I digress. Go ahead.
Yeah, because he cares. So here's what this witch with a capital B had to say. All caps. This horrific, preventable strategy is political.
Strategy?
Tragedy, pardon me. I won't wait to talk about how lawmakers allow the NRA to endanger us.
Good night.
Here's some more here, but the two that might stand out the most. Joy Reid, MSNBC.
Nothing. Wait, she should change her name to Hater Reid. Haterade Reid.
Haterade.
Haterade Reid. MSNBC zealot.
The NRA is soaked and bathed in blood.
Says the woman who supports the murder of children in the womb.
Right. And probably outside of the womb, let's just be honest.
Well, hey, there are some liberals who have
they want choice.
There are some liberals who have argued that, you know, up until the full body of the baby is out, it could be killed.
Oh, let's just be honest.
Their feet. Now, hold on. I'll say
They're
this.
pro-murder.
Their feet could be the last thing left inside. They could be killed. And there are others. Remember that one liberal woman who argued that until a child is of knowing age, whatever the hell that means.
In other words, they can speak their age?
Yeah, that they could be killed. So basically, a liberal argued that children 3 and 4 years old can be killed if their parents don't want them anymore.
I'm sure Joy Reid would support that, but we don't know that for sure. So the Joy Reid, quote, the NRA is soaked and bathed in blood. How do its adherents sleep at night? Quite well, thank you, Joy.
Did you see?
Because the NRA didn't have anything to do with this. In fact, it's even worse than that, Joy. So, hey, Joy, are you ready for some humble pie? Because we got it coming.
Wait, did you see what James Woods said in response? He said, "With a Beretta by my side and at my bedside, in case a crazy liberal breaks into my home to kill me."
Oh, that's awesome. James Wood is amazing on Twitter.
And look, speaking about that, before you tell them about the karma coming back to bite these Second Amendment hating idiots. Both Matt Walsh, 25 people murdered in a church, and Twitter is full of people mocking prayer. You people truly disgust me. Why are we pretending that an atheist shooting up a church is anything but terrorism against Christians? David French from the National Review. The amount of anti-Christian hate on Twitter the same day Christians were massacred is stunning and chilling.
It is. It is. They're out of the closet. They are the Antichrist. The Democrat Party should just change their logo to the Antichrist Party. Chelsea Handler. Innocent people go to church on Sunday to honor their God, and while doing so get shot and killed. And killed. What country? America. Why? Republicans. By the way, did I say that Shannon Twatts is a Michael Bloomberg stooge? I believe I did. Yes. Okay. And then, politicians, lefty commie pinkos like Chris Murphy from Connecticut. Can you sleep tonight, colleagues, when the price of gun lobby goodwill is this? Blood-soaked church and school floors.
So these
city streets.
Let's keep in mind. Let's keep in mind that these same people who want to blame the NRA, just full of law-abiding Americans who want to exercise their Second Amendment rights, these same people who are saying the NRA is soaked in blood, these same people that want to confiscate, that's their ultimate goal, so that you are freaking sitting ducks while they're sitting behind their gated communities with their armed guards. These same people want to confiscate their guns because one evil person who came about, no doubt, because the left has spent decades pushing God out of every single element of society. This is what they have reaped. They've reaped what they've sown. You can't push God out of every element of society and expect that Satan won't work overtime to get a stronghold with his evil on our world.
Right.
That's just reality. But these same people want to argue, you can't have a travel ban from countries that are hotbeds of terrorism that we know ISIS is heavily recruiting in, that we know have terrorist training camps. We can't blame all Muslims for the actions of a few. No, they would even want to import Muslims from countries that are known, and that was the focus of the travel ban.
Oh yeah, the more the merrier.
Known hotbeds of terrorism. That's why Chucky Schumer. That's why Chucky Schumer fought for the guy from Uzbekistan who killed all those people in New York to come here because whatever.
Right. And then there's idiots like Andrew Cuomo, who just had a terrorist attack in his city, and he's mouthing off, good quality Democrat. He said on Twitter, quote, "We have pastors, priests, and rabbis to offer thought and prayers."
So are you trying to monitor our prayers now, Andy?
Yeah. What we need from Republicans in D.C. is to do something. Lead. And Rebel Pundit fired back to him and said, "That's weird because I saw you offer thoughts and prayers in the hours after the terrorist attack on the bike path last week."
Now, let me guess. Andy either ignored him or blocked him.
I don't know. So there was a lot of that hypocrisy going on. Hollywood, of course, immediately condemning prayer, immediately calling for gun control, attacking Second Amendment rights. And here's a random person on Twitter. I don't know him, Robert, Kroese, but somebody sent this to me, and it's just amazing. And it's been it's been retweeted almost 9,000 times.
Wow.
And he does not have a big account. He said, "Nice to see celebrities taking time off from raping each other to condemn prayer." So they destroyed the culture, and then now they want to blame Christians. It doesn't even make any logical sense. It doesn't even make any emotional sense.
Put on a protectionist pedestal,
right?
And slam Christians.
And that's why. Let's just be honest. That's why they support the Muslims, because they have the same common enemy, Christians. That's why you will never, ever see a Democrat condemn a Muslim terrorist, ever.
Ever. In fact, Barack Obama let free 5 leaders in the Muslim terrorism
For a
movement
traitor.
For a traitor. Who his administration said served with honor and distinction. Listen to this article from the Babylon Bee. From that Robert Krauss, however you say his name?
Yeah, which is a satire site.
It's a satire set, but they are spot on.
Oh, man.
They write some great stuff in their satire. Praying doesn't help anything, says man whose idea of helping is trolling on the internet.
Yeah. Yeah, right on. Okay, so they all blame the NRA. They all blame the NRA. But you know what? There's an itsy-bitsy problem. There's just a tiny, tiny little problem.
Just a smidgen.
Guess who stopped this God-hating atheist from murdering even more innocent Christian worshipers?
Who, darling?
And a former NRA instructor. Can you believe that? That is the greatest story of all time.
Let me guess. CNN, MSNBC, Headline News, the New York Times, the LA Times, the Chicago Tribune, none of them are going to recognize that this man was a former NRA instructor because it would ruin their narrative of attacking the NRA.
You won't see that in a headline anywhere in mainstream media, no. But I will say this. I will credit ABC News because when I wrote about it on thepolitistic.com today, I got the story from them. And they don't have it in the headline, of course, but they have it in the first sentence of a story they have. And they say, former NRA instructor Stephen Williford is being hailed a hero for chasing down the man accused of opening fire at a Sutherland Springs, Texas church, killing 26. Williford, whose family has lived in the area for 4 generations, spoke about his confrontation with the 26-year-old suspect, saying that after he heard the shots from the nearby First Baptist Church, he grabbed his rifle. Thank God he had the rifle.
Thank God.
And ran into the building barefoot. When he saw the suspected shooter dressed in black tactical gear, he didn't hesitate and fired. He saw me and I saw him, Williford told ABC affiliate KHOG. I was standing behind a pickup truck for cover. I know I hit him. He got into his vehicle and he fired another couple rounds through his side window. When the window dropped, I fired another round at him again. As the suspect pulled away in his car...
And what happened after he saw a man with a gun?
He ran like a pussy. Williford stopped the pickup truck to ask for help, and that's the other gentleman, Jimmy something or other, who is also a hero. He stopped him, the pickup truck, to ask for help. We need to stop him, Williford told the driver. And this guy's been making rounds doing interviews too, and he's also a hero. He hopped in the truck. He goes, okay. They hopped in the truck and they
Let's roll. Let's roll, baby.
And he was chasing him 95 miles an hour.
Don't mess with Texas.
Don't mess with Texas. So that's the way they do it in Texas. So the guy, the godless heathen, the pagan, the progressive pagan who murdered 26 Christian worshipers, 12 of them children, he had 3 bullet holes in him. None were by police. None were by first responders. None were by anybody else except some local Texans with balls and guns.
Yep, good guy with a gun.
So the lesson here for the left is, A, you suck. You suck. You suck at life. You're liars. You're thieves. You're cheats. You don't belong in this country. We want you out. I would recommend self-deporting to a communist utopia somewhere. There's communist utopias all over.
$150 for eggs.
Yes. You know, Venezuela, where they're eating their pets because they can't get food.
Yes, where zebras are dying in the zoo.
Yeah, because people are eating them.
Fed. Where people are being told by their government to eat rocks, literally.
Right.
Not a Charlie Brown statement. They're literally being told, if you're hungry, eat rocks.
Or here's another, you hate this country so much. You hate this Christian nation so much. I've got another one for you. North Korea, there's another communist utopia you might enjoy. No Second Amendment there. No Second Amendment rights. You don't have to worry about it. The government comes up and strangles you. They come on and beat the hell out of you. You don't have to worry about defending yourself at all. You can just depend on their God, which is government. You're not going to have any Christians going around bugging you, because Christians there are roundly killed. The good news is you will have freedom of religion there, Democrats. You will. Because you can worship government.
Right.
That is your God. You worship government. And here's a perfect example of that. You idiots actually think passing more laws would have stopped this godless heathen. Now, he already broke several existing laws. Do they think he's going to look up the rule book to make sure he's not breaking any other ones?
Last I looked, wasn't murder a crime?
Maybe we need to pass another one.
Maybe
pass a law. Going into a church and opening fire on people is against the law. It's already against the law. Shut up, Democrats. You suck. You suck as humans.
Yet
you suck
another
at life.
example.
You're evil.
Of how Democrats are master manipulators. And as Rom Deadfish Emanuel said, they never let a crisis go to waste.
Never.
They will stop at
point.
Nothing until they strip you of all your God-given rights. Why? Because they don't believe in God.
Yep. No, they believe in God. It's just government.
God of government.
Okay. As long as they're in charge of it.
Right. Right.
Republicans aren't all that much better, but that's a different topic. All right, now let's listen to a couple of sane responses to this. Here's Senator Ted Cruz today, and of course, the reporters, what are they all chirping? The media is nothing but a Democrat super PAC. Can we just be real?
And journalists expose that. Jake Tapper.
Right.
Flapper.
Fake flapper? Here's Ted Cruz. And I would say he nails it. Evil is evil.
We'll do going forward. With that, I'm happy to answer a couple questions.
How do you start to try and comfort people here when their families and friends...
You can't really hear the questions here, but you don't need to. His answers, you kind of get the gist of it.
Down in their place of worship.
There aren't words that can make this pain go away. The pain of a parent losing a child is unspeakable. My understanding is that this depraved madman had worshipped at this church before. We've seen this before. Evil, there is a peculiar evil that can worship God, can pray with people, and then come back and murder those very same people. I can tell you, as I visited with the pastor, I shared something my father has pointed out before.
Okay, now he's going to quote the Bible, and oh boy, they're going to crap their pants now.
Yep.
Boy, that word of God is like a sword. Cuts right through the lefties.
Which is that in Psalms 23, it tells us, yea, though I go through the valley of death, I will fear no evil. And the word of encouragement I tried to share is, I think, the most powerful word in that entire verse is the word through. Through the valley of death. This is a moment of horror, of grief, of agony. And yet with God's grace and with our coming together, we will make it through the valley and to the other side. But this is a community that is going to need prayer, it's going to need help, it's going to need support. And we are seeing Texans come together, we're seeing Americans come together to provide that support.
Okay, so amen there. Amen there. Whether you're a Christian or not, if you have that hope in the afterlife, if you have hope that there's something out there that's greater than yourself, that you will be held accountable to someday, that there is an eternity, that there is hell and damnation, you're going to try at least to live your life differently. When you're a godless heathen, what you're going to do is go around shooting people because you think in the afterlife there's no consequences for it. And this guy may have had a bulletproof vest. He may have had his tactical gear, but he's going to need a fire suit because it's very hot where he's headed.
Right.
Okay, here's the media now trying to push the Democrat Party's gun control meme, and Ted Cruz shoves it right up their keister. Why isn't this playing? Here we go.
You know, it is an unfortunate thing that the immediate place the media goes after any tragedy, after any murder, is politicizing it. We don't need politics right now. You know, I would note in New York we saw a
Sorry, it's a little choppy.
terror attack just this week with a truck. Evil is evil is evil, and will use the weaponry that is available. That the reason this depraved gunman finally gave up and got in the car and fled and didn't murder more is precisely because one individual demonstrated bravery and courage. We need to be celebrating that bravery and courage. We need to be celebrating the compassion and love and unity. Evil, tragically, will always be with us, but so will good.
Yeah, hear how irate they are? They're going nuts. Absolutely nuts.
You know, it is predictable that there is a reason why there is public distrust of the media. Because the immediate focus is on a political agenda of gun control. I can say this, the private citizen who used his own rifle saved lives today. This individual was a sick, deranged murderer.
But if no gun
And
can you do?
evil... I support the right of individuals to defend themselves. It's a fundamental right that Texans understand, to defend yourself and your family.
Define life between vigilantes.
And this community right now.
Did you hear that reporter mouthing off? It's a fine line between that and vigilantism. So in his mind, what he would want is for everybody to just lay down, all get shot by this godless heathen.
Did this man actually attack the hero that
Yes!
saved other people
As
in the
vigilantes.
community?
They're
As a
not showing the
vigilante.
reporters. I wonder who it is.
As
I mean,
a
this is on
vigilante.
MSNBC. So
Really?
Yeah, vigilantes.
I told you. I remember I said how long.
That's
will it
where
take?
they're at.
Somebody's going to demand that he get that he's prosecuted for
Wouldn't
killing
you-
the guy.
Oh, my God.
The man's a freaking hero.
Oh, you know some ambulance-chasing leftist attorney will be all over that.
I was reading another article somewhere that failed to mention that the guy was an NRA instructor.
Of course.
And but they said he wasn't at the church. He got a call from his daughter who said, "Dad, someone's here dressed in body armor shooting up the church." That's when he grabbed his rifle, and he was a member of the community.
That must have
and
been
ran
why he was
over there.
barefoot.
Yes, and just ran over
was
there.
like, I don't care
and when
about
the
my
guy, when the coward who chose a soft target to go kill old people and children saw him, he dropped his. It startled him, of course, seeing, "Oh my gosh, I'm actually going to have to face someone with a weapon."
I didn't
and
know
I'm
they
such
have
a
gun-
fucking sorry.
Ooh.
I'm such a PUSSY that I'm dressed in all body armor, and here this guy is in his bare feet.
Oh, Jennifer Burke throws
Sorry,
the
I didn't
F-bomb.
mean to throw the F-bomb. I was riled up. So,
We don't have a mute button, baby.
yeah, we have no 10-second pause. Sorry, Spreaker. Sorry, Spreaker. So then the guy picked up his gun, and they exchanged fire, and he took, the guy took off in his vehicle, and as Matthew, shared all the rest, the two guys went after him, and the police said, credited him. The man saved lives, and this idiot reporter wants to call him a vigilante.
And you know what?
Really?
Trump is not buying into the gun control crap, so good for him. But he is buying into the mental health crap, and that's not good for him. Because
As the great Matt Walsh said, we don't have a mental health crisis. We have a spiritual
health crisis. That's exactly right. You are not going to be able, as Jennifer said earlier, to legislate against evil, because evil people will break whatever law you have. And you can't teach a generation of people that there is no God, there are no consequences for your actions in this world or the next, that, you know, there is no such thing as morality, that there's no such thing as right or wrong, and then expect people not to do this kind of stuff.
Right, and Democrats, you can't try to get on a freaking soapbox against Second Amendment rights and the right of law-abiding Americans to protect themselves, and want to ridicule those people who are praying for the victims who lost their lives and their families who lost loved ones in a heinous way, while simultaneously, erroneously, disgustingly, hypocritically, and doing Satan's work for him, calling abortion, the murder of innocent babies in the womb, women's health care.
Choice. A choice.
You can't. You just
Let's
can't.
see if Cruz has anything else here. Go.
Is not looking to be drawn into the political circus
This thing is choppy for some reason.
Of the national media, debating the same issues that the national media loves to debate.
So that's it. That was from newsbusters.org. Newsbusters.org if you want that part. The first part of that was on our site, thepolitistic.com. But,
wow.
What?
Here's another tweet by Will Wheaton of Star Trek The Next Generation fame. And he was in the movie Stand By Me years and years ago when he was a child actor, when Paul Ryan tweeted out prayers for the people of Sutherland Springs. Will Wheaton, Wheaton, tweeted in reply, "The murdered victims were in a church. If prayers did anything, they'd still be alive, you worthless sack of shh."
That's evil. You know what? The difference between, what's his name?
Will Wheaton.
Will Wheaton is, every one of those Christians is going to spend eternity in heaven, and if you don't change your ways, you're going to need a fire suit. That's a difference. Okay. Not to get all preachy here, but you know what? I think the problem is not that people are being too preachy. I think the problem is that Christians have been stifled.
Yes, we've been silent. Christians have been silenced. You can't talk about politics and religion.
And so the left has filled that void with their religion. You know, the false god of progressivism, of global warming, and big government and communism, and Karl Marx as their Lord and Savior.
Yes, with their leader, George Soros.
Right. Who actually, look it up, he thinks he's God. He's got a God complex.
Yes, he has a
He has said that in his book. All right, so here's another thing that just embarrassed the left. Not only did they blame the NRA, and then the hero turns out to be an NRA instructor. Not only did they utterly embarrass themselves, I mean, just get a big fat pie right in the face.
Right.
Not only did they
I hope they all are buying stock in Depends.
or Kleenex. Not only did they embarrass themselves with that, but as they call for more laws, what we find is that a bureaucratic snafu allowed
bringing this up, hon.
allowed the God hater to get a gun illegally.
Inefficient government bureaucracy.
So, unfortunately, it had something to do with our military, but, you know, as we know, there's a hell of a lot of bureaucracy.
They've been too busy trying to implement trannies being in the military.
Right. They've been focused on letting trannies in.
Yeah, so making the military a bunch of social justice warriors under Obama.
So this is over at the Right Scoop. Headline, just in, here's how the Texas killer was able to buy guns despite being banned. Because
shameful.
Greg Abbott said today that he was actually denied a Texas gun carry permit.
Yep. Denied a concealed carry permit
in Texas. So Texas did their job. And the reason why is he was dishonorably discharged from the military because he was beating the snot out of his wife and kid.
Yep.
You know, just a real
if he
classy
were
guy. A good atheist.
If he were a multimillionaire, all he'd have to do is to go to that $36,000 a month facility in northern Arizona, and everything would be okay. Like Harvey Weinstein.
Or maybe go there with his fellow progressive Harvey Weinstein.
And I just read Kevin Spacey. You know, I'm just going to go soak up the sun in Arizona, pay $36,000 a month, and make y'all think I'm doing something. You know, it's just a joke.
Now you're going to make me swerve off here into the weeds, but I just have to do it. I have to do it.
Swerve!
Go to thelibertydaily.com, thelibertydaily.com, and you will see in the middle column, I kind of jiggered with the headline there.
And this is granted. This is at 11:20 p.m. Eastern time that he's referencing. It's in the middle column because the page will be turned over soon.
Yeah. In a couple hours, you won't recognize it. But it'll probably still be on there in the morning on thelibertydaily.com. Disrespectful Democrat Ted Lieu, Lieu. He's a California commie.
What's in the water there, man?
Disgustingly walks out of a moment of silence for murdered Texas Christian worshipers.
Horrible.
Shameful loser.
Talk about politicizing.
And the picture I have to highlight that story is of him and Kevin Spacey.
Yucking it up.
And they look pretty friendly, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I guess, Ted Lieu, this means that you support Kevin Spacey trying to rape 14-year-old boys.
I wonder if there's something closer. I mean, it looks like they could be hugging, they could be holding hands. In fact, I wonder if Ted Lieu left that moment of silence to honor the Texas Christian worshipers because he had a little something planned with Kevin Spacey, who recently came out of the closet as a progressive pedophile.
Right, in an effort to absolve himself from his attempted rape.
Well, actually, he came out as a homosexual in order to absolve.
Yeah, in an attempt to absolve
his progressive pedophilia.
Right.
You can't make this stuff up. These people are absolutely nuts, and they're
This is
imploding.
our culture, guys.
We don't even have time, I don't think, to get into this whole Hillary Donna Brazil thing. I mean, it is absolutely imploding. Maybe I'll just Yeah. We got to wrap up here. But anyway, go to the right scoop, and you'll see that there was a bureaucratic snafu where apparently, best as I can understand it, the government computers didn't communicate with the military computers, or somehow it happened that the database that controls this kind of stuff with the government did not know that this guy was dishonorably discharged. And if you're dishonorably discharged, apparently you are unable to then own legally a firearm. So passing a new law wouldn't have helped because there's already a law in existence that the government somehow screwed up.
Right. And criminals don't obey laws. That's why they are criminals.
Yeah, that's why they call them criminals. That's an excellent point. Okay, let me just paraphrase this. There's a governor's race tomorrow in Virginia, and the current governor, Terry McAuliffe, who I call Terry McAuffle, he literally said this today. I mean, this is racism. He is a racist.
Raging racist.
He was on MSNBC today. I don't know. Maybe it's just a minute. I think I'm going to play it. Listen to this. Now, Donna Brazil, as we know, is a black woman.
She's a black woman.
So as a black woman, and any woman, they deserve to be heard. Do they not?
Hey, according to Eric Holder, she can get away with almost anything.
Right. And now, here's Terry McAuffle. He's talking to Katie Tour on MSNBC, the liberal channel there. And he's telling her that there's not one person who cares about Donna Brazil's story. The story she had that Hillary Clinton rigged the election.
So they don't care about corruption in actuality.
How is he talking in that way to a black woman?
Disrespectful, bigoted.
Racist.
Bigot.
Okay, let's listen.
I see your earpiece has fallen out a little.
That's his brain's falling out.
I want to ask you about Donna Brazile and the allegations that are coming out in her new book. There's a lot of people on both sides of the issue here saying that the DNC is completely rigged. There are others saying that it's not rigged at all. This is completely just the way politics works, and people are making too big of a deal over it. The fact of the matter is that it's in the news. It's casting a negative spotlight on the Democratic Party. I mean, you have to have some concern about how that's going to play out in Virginia, correct?
Nobody cares.
Nobody cares? Let's listen to Donna Brazile. One more time.
Nobody cares.
On this week.
Nobody cares about what Donna Brazile has said in a book.
Governor,
wow.
one second. Let's listen to Donna Brazile.
Racist.
For those who are telling me to shut up, they told Hillary that a couple of months ago. You know what I tell them? Go to hell. I'm going to tell my story.
You don't think anybody cares about her story?
Nobody cares. You know what they care about? They care about beating Donald Trump tomorrow. They care about beating Ed Gillespie. Not one person in Virginia who's looking for a job, wants to get health care, making sure their kids get a quality education. I mean, I know everybody in Washington in the little bubble loves to talk about this stuff. I did not get asked. I met thousands of people this weekend canvassing. Not one single person asked me. They care. They want people, they want a job. They want education.
Admit this one thing. If Democrats don't win tomorrow, are you going to be concerned about the future of the party? I mean, just take yourself out of it for a second. If Democrats don't win, outside observer, Democrats cannot win in Virginia tomorrow, a swing state where Donald Trump did not win. Donald Trump is not popular right now. If they can't win, are you going to be concerned about the messaging right now and the leadership right now of the Democratic Party?
Listen to this.
Katie, all I'm telling you, we are going to win all three. I feel as confident of this as I have ever felt about.
Okay, get ready for this, hon. Are you ready? He's going to start flirting with her.
Oh my gosh.
Any race I have been out there. I have done over 40 events myself. I mean, Katie, you got to enjoy life a little bit more. I mean, it's not so bad. You got to come move to Virginia. Things are great here.
I enjoy life, and Virginia is a great
you don't
state.
sound it.
I enjoy life. Virginia's a great state. I think it's a sad day for our country given what's happening in Texas. Maybe that's why I'm a little down. Virginia Governor Terry McAuliffe.
Don't be so negative on Virginia.
Virginia Governor Terry McAuliffe. I want to talk to you after this race to see how it all pans out. Good luck to you, sir.
I'll be with you Wednesday.
Great.
I just want you smiling and thinking big. Virginia's for lovers.
Oh, so that was a sexist remark.
Goodness gracious.
Virginia's for lovers.
Is he
sexist?
Putting forth his best Harvey Weinstein?
Yeah. So there is Democrat, possible 2020 presidential candidate.
Oh, Lord help us.
A Clintonista, a long time Clintonista, going back to the Bill Clinton days when he was Bill Clinton's money bag. And he is telling a black woman to get in the back of the bus and shut up.
Yeah, shut up. Shut up till we tell you to talk.
Right.
You talk when we want you to talk, and we say what we want you to say.
You left that plantation. You get back there.
Yeah,
Donna.
Do you have your whip and chains?
You know, it's no wonder.
Terry?
It's no wonder that Donna Brazile said. She said this in her book. She said this to Democrats. I'm not just some slave. I'm not your patsy slave.
Right. And obviously, that's how Democrats view black people. Remember when Bill Clinton...
Of course they do.
Remember when Bill Clinton... What was that comment he made, honey? You might remember it better than me. He was at some Democrat dinner and he said, "Yeah, the only time Republicans will see this many black people is if... Or was it Republicans? Or he never thought he'd see this many black people in a room unless they were... waiters or serving something.
Oh yeah. I don't recall that whole thing. Are you gonna? I'm starting to like this. I don't know that much about him. This Democrat from Texas.
I gotta find it.
Henry Cuellar, but I've just heard him speak a couple, 3 times.
And he surprised us.
On both. On all the times I've heard him speak, he's been on liberal media, and he hasn't towed the leftist line completely.
Right.
And the journalists that are interviewing him, they're like taken aback by it. So I don't know if
he happens to represent the district where Sulphur Springs is located. Not Sulphur Springs. Sutherland Springs. Sutherland Springs is located. But yeah, so of course Katie Tur, who I swear only got catapulted on MSNBC because Trump used to always target her.
Right.
Because all of a sudden after that she had her own show. Katie Tur asked him if he thought there should be any limits in the Second Amendment. She said, "You can't scream fire in a crowded theater. That's a limit to the First Amendment. Should there be any limits to the Second Amendment?" And he said, "I think there are limits already. Not everybody can get a gun. There is some background checks. There is." "Well, that's not consistent around the entire country," Tur interjected. In fact, the federal instant background check system does apply to commercial gun sales around the whole country. Private sales are regulated according to their state laws. Cuellar explained that there are limits to the Second Amendment, which he accepts as a supporter of gun rights. There are some limits right now to the Second Amendment. Do I believe in the Second Amendment? Yes. Do I believe in the First Amendment? Yes. Until we make some changes to the Constitution, those are some of the basic constitutional rights that we have. But she was unaffected by his explanation of gun rights. "But I was just hoping to find out whether or not you think there should be any limits. I presume your answer is no?" "No, I just told you there are some limits under the law right now." Then, she did her obligatory offering her condolences, which she probably really doesn't believe, because what she really wants to do is exploit the death of these people at the hands of this atheist Christian God-hater. But, for the camera, she had to do that.
That's exactly right. And with that, my dear, we are going to sign off on this Monday night. This very, very special edition of the Burke Brigade. Brought to you by The Liberty Daily.
Your conservative alternative to the Judge Report.
Go to thelibertydaily.com, thelibertydaily.com. You will thank us later. You will thank us in the present. You will thank us in the past. You will thank us. And you'll send all your friends. God bless you guys. Thank you so much.
God bless America and God bless Texas.